If you struggle to consistently find the energy that you need to make the progress that you want to make, this simple equation that I'm about to show you is going to become a mainstay of your process when it comes to finding that energy. Very simply, here we have willpower plus energy plus intention multiplied by consistency equals the results that you want to reach, whether that's in fitness, whether that's in physical achievements in your career, any kind of achievement that you want to see in your life. Simply analyzing this process will help you get there effortlessly. If right now you feel like your energy is maybe a 3 or a 4 out of 10, simply removing the things that you rely on for those artificial energy spikes, and again, this requires a high degree of self-awareness first and foremost, but if you can acknowledge that you have a poor relationship with these artificial energy spikers, things like caffeine, for example, simply removing that will allow you to bring that 4 or 5 up to something like an 8 or a 9 even. Now let's talk about willpower, right? Willpower and energy are very, very similar. I think it's safe to look at willpower pretty much in the same category as dopamine in general. When you have a high degree of dopamine activation potential, you have a super high level of willpower. Your capacity to self-motivate is essentially infinite. Now, assuming that there is that energy to back that up, your ability to leverage that willpower to see the kind of success that you want to see is going to be far, far higher than people that have high dopamine dependencies on these artificial energy spikers, like we talked about over here earlier. Now, that being said, when it comes to dopamine dependency, you don't want to just look at things that spike your energy, right? Things that deplete your energy, things that forcibly relax you are also taxing that dopamine at a very high level. So things like marijuana or masturbation are very good examples of these forced relaxation methods that are also sapping your dopamine, aka taking your willpower. Finally, let's consider what intention is. Intention is really the ability to be very clear when it comes to choosing our goals. For the vast majority of us, being intentional in the long term is very easy, right? It's very easy to set big goals in terms of 1 year, 10 years, on and on. But you might be struggling to be consistent with short-term intentions, right? The intention for the day, the intention that I have for the next 5 minutes of this interaction. If we can practice being sharp with our intention, right? Being clear in every moment that we possibly can, it's going to be a whole lot easier for us to reflect on our progress and ask, was I intentional in the right way in this situation? Was I even intentional at all? And so by continuing to sharpen and clarify our intention, right? Continuing to raise our physical and mental energy, continuing to raise our capacity for willpower or our store of dopamine. When we multiply this by regular consistency, we are going to see massive results. I want you to imagine for a second 2 people with equal intelligence, right? But one has absolutely depleted energy. They have a high degree of dopamine dependencies on substances or other artificial dopamine release activities like scrolling on social media endlessly. On the other hand, you have a highly disciplined person who does not release their dopamine willy-nilly. They practice working out consistently, right? They practice prioritizing sleep. They practice prioritizing a healthy diet. These people might be totally equal in intelligence, and in fact, the person that does not have a good grasp on their willpower might be significantly smarter. That person might even have a higher level of technical skill than the undisciplined person. However, simply because the more disciplined person has a much higher degree of control over their energy level, right? Over their capacity for willpower, right? Over their ability to set clear intentions. Well, when you multiply what is essentially a full power level by the willingness to show up and consistently be consistent, the inherent qualities, right? The talent, it does not matter if you literally cannot be the vessel that goes through the trials and tribulations to see the progress. If you have big goals, but you are finding yourself consistently throttled by a lack of mental and physical energy, this is a challenge that I'm sure resonates. But this is why reminding yourself of this simple equation is imperative. It's very easy for us as humans to choose what are essentially avoidance behaviors by going on this process that is essentially 80% learning and only 20% doing. While it is hard, it is very important that you force yourself to take a step back and realize that a lack of technical knowledge, a lack of skill, or a lack of talent, 99 times out of 100, this is going to be the 1% issue. A lack of control over your impulses, a lack of physical and mental energy, a lack of capacity to be clear with your intentions. This is the hole that is sinking the ship. But if you can be real with yourself, right? If you can allow yourself to take a step back and acknowledge that the simple habits, consistently eating healthy, consistently showing up and doing some kind of workout, consistently allowing yourself time for deliberate rest and relaxation, these things will allow you to not only make massive progress in the project that you're working on right now, but every other area of your life will subsequently improve with a willingness to focus on these consistent basic habits. If you're ready to master this process for yourself, I highly encourage you to check out the video where I talk about my mastermind. This is a 1-year process where together we develop clarity of vision. We follow up by developing a personalized habit pattern process. And once you have your visions clear, a master plan that you are 100% confident in, we give you the accountability both in coaching and in community that's going to allow you to consistently show up and stay motivated. So click that link, join the mastermind, and keep referring back to this equation when you need to figure out how to raise your energy, raise your willpower, and clarify your intentions. Remember, my friends, people that have the foundations locked down will always be at the cutting edge. See you soon.